What if I told you that giving up intimacy after 60 could silently accelerate your aging process, damage your heart, cloud your memory, and trap you inside a fragile body you can no longer control? It may sound shocking, but this is a reality that many older adults unknowingly face. And here's the truth. The damage begins much sooner than you think, and once it starts, reversing it becomes nearly impossible. Now, you might be wondering, is it that serious? The answer is yes. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the hidden dangers that arise when intimacy fades in later years, and how it affects not just your emotional health, but your physical well-being too. If you're over 60, or know someone who is, you need to watch this video until the end because we'll reveal how staying intimately connected could be your most powerful shield against rapid aging. By the time we get to the last danger on this list, you'll understand why neglecting intimacy after 60 could cost you far more than you ever imagined. The consequences of emotional and physical disconnection can sneak up on you, but by the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to protect yourself from these silent threats. If you're looking to stay strong, independent, and full of life, this video holds vital information that could help you reclaim your vitality and keep you feeling young for years to come. So, stick with us until the end to learn how you can continue to thrive emotionally, physically, and mentally, because the choices you make today will shape your future. Don't miss out on these crucial insights. Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. By the time you uncover point number 7, you'll understand, truly understand, why ignoring this could cost you far more than you ever thought possible. Not just years of your life, but the very quality of your days, the joy in your relationships, and the strength in your body. So I urge you, from the bottom of my heart, stay with me. Don't click away. This may be the most important video you watch this year, especially if you're over 60 and still care deeply about living, not just surviving. Before we go deeper into this truth that no one dares to talk about, if you haven't already, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button and turn on that little notification bell. Why? Because every video we release is created with love, care, and intention to give you the power to protect your strength, preserve your independence, and help you rediscover the passion and purpose that aging was never meant to steal away from you. And hey, if this message resonates with you, if you feel that what we're about to share is important, type 1 in the comments. And if you want even deeper, more transformative content tailored just for you, type 0. Your feedback is not just helpful, it's sacred. It helps us serve you better. Now, let's begin with the first, and perhaps one of the most painfully overlooked dangers of aging, the silent surrender of intimacy. 1. You may feel more anxious, disconnected, and emotionally hollow. When you stop nurturing intimacy after 60, the cost isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional and often devastating. The toll is quiet, subtle at first, like a whisper you ignore in a crowded room. But over time, it becomes a storm inside you, one that can shake your peace, your joy, and your will to live. I've witnessed it again and again, and every time it breaks my heart. Seniors who once carried themselves with grace and laughter slowly fade into a painful shell of isolation, not because they lost their memory, not because they became physically frail, but because they lost that sacred, tender connection to another soul. That warm, grounding sense of being seen, held, desired, loved. It doesn't happen all at once. Maybe you start feeling uneasy at night. The silence becomes too loud. Your mind wanders toward regrets you've buried. You avoid phone calls. You tell yourself you're just tired. That's just aging. But beneath that excuse lies a harsh truth. Something essential, something life-affirming, is quietly slipping through your fingers. When intimacy fades, something far deeper than just touch is lost. You lose oxytocin, the miraculous bonding hormone that calms your nervous system, softens your heart, and shields you from emotional storms. Without it, your chest tightens with worry. Your sleep becomes restless. Your laughter becomes rare. And the world begins to feel distant, like you're watching your life through a frosted window pane. Eventually, that low hum of unease becomes chronic anxiety, deep sadness, and a profound loneliness that no pill, no distraction, and no cheerful television show can truly fix. It's not just emotional distress. It's a silent predator eating away at your immune system, raising your blood pressure, messing with your memory, and pushing you closer to conditions like dementia and cardiovascular disease. Let's be clear. Losing intimacy in your golden years is not harmless. It is dangerous, and it's slow enough that most people don't even realize it's happening until they feel like strangers in their skin. And the scariest part? Once that spiral begins, it takes extraordinary strength to pull yourself out. Every day without a meaningful connection becomes another brick in the wall that isolates you, trapping you inside a body that no longer feels like home. But the damage doesn't stop at the heartstrings. It reaches deeper, to the very core of your physical survival. Too, your heart, your most sacred lifeline, starts to deteriorate. Let me share a story I'll never forget. Years ago, I had a patient named Harold. He was 68, bright-eyed, active, and full of jokes. You'd never know he was approaching 70. He walked every day, ate well, stayed engaged. But then something changed. Over a few months, he became quieter, tired. He started missing appointments. His blood pressure spiked. His energy plummeted. When I finally sat down with him, his voice cracked with something deeper than fatigue. His wife had passed away, and since then, he hadn't been close to anyone, not emotionally, not physically. He said, "I didn't think it mattered. I just thought that part of life was over." But it wasn't over, it was neglected. And that neglect had consequences, because intimacy is more than touch or romance. It's medicine. Honest, powerful medicine for the heart. Every moment of physical connection increases circulation, floods the body with nitric oxide, boosts oxygen delivery, lowers cortisol, and acts as a gentle workout for the cardiovascular system. It renews life force in the most literal sense. Without it, the heart, your most precious, tirelessly working muscle, starts to stiffen. Blood vessels lose their elasticity. Blood pressure rises. Fatigue becomes constant. And risks of stroke, heart attack, and even sudden cardiac death increase, silently, steadily, like a tide you never saw coming. And what's most tragic is that people like Harold blame themselves. They say, "I must just be getting old." No, my friend D, you're not just aging. You're missing a form of emotional and physical nourishment your body still desperately needs. Aging is inevitable. Withering away because you stopped connecting, that's preventable. Let me be brutally honest. When your heart fails, you don't just lose energy. You lose freedom. You lose the ability to play with your grandkids, to take long walks in the park, to dance in the kitchen with someone you love. You lose time you could have filled with laughter, love, and legacy. So hear this. Sexual and emotional intimacy is not a luxury after 60. It is your God-given right, your biological gift, and your hidden key to staying yo-ing, not just in body but in spirit. If this truth stirred something inside you, if it made you reflect or remember, don't ignore it. You are not too old to reconnect. You are not too far gone to heal. And you are certainly not too broken to be cherished again. Stay with me, because what comes next, reason number 3, may hit even closer to home. It's about memory, clarity, and the terrifying link between intimacy loss and cognitive decline. Giving up intimacy, whether out of fear, habit, or resignation, isn't just a personal choice. It's like pulling the plug on the very power source that keeps your soul lit, your body alive, and your spirit grounded. It's more than just an emotional retreat. It's a surrender that sends silent shockwaves through your entire being. While your heart is often the first to ache in the absence of closeness, it's only one piece of a much larger, more fragile puzzle. Because there's another essential system within you, quiet, often unnoticed, yet vital, that begins to break down the moment connection disappears. It's the system that governs how you move, how alive you feel, and how gracefully or rapidly you age. Let's talk about this now. Because what's at stake is not just love or companionship, it's your very ability to live independently and vibrantly. 3. You might move less and lose your strength. I'll never forget the day I met Harold, a 72-year-old man who once lived for the thrill of the fairway. He spoke fondly of the days he could walk 18 holes with ease, each stride filled with purpose and energy. He loved the fresh morning air, the camaraderie of his friends, and the way his body used to respond effortlessly to his commands. But something changed. Over the years, his spark dimmed. His gait slowed. His back began to ache, and the game he once loved turned into a chore that drained more than it gave. When we dug deeper, it wasn't just age catching up. It was loneliness, a quiet, creeping disconnection from the intimacy that once kept his life vibrant. What most people don't realize is that intimacy, yes, including physical touch, affection, even soft caresses, isn't just emotionally nourishing. It's profoundly physical. It activates muscles, stimulates blood flow, increases oxygen to your tissues, and keeps your joints fluid and flexible. It encourages movement in ways that are organic and life-sustaining. When that touch fades, the body slowly withdraws from motion. And it happens so subtly you hardly notice, until one day you do. Stiffness creeps in like an unwelcome guest. Your muscles, once strong and reliable, start to shrink. Joints grow tight. Coordination falters. And soon, you're not just slower, you're vulnerable. Vulnerable to falls, fractures, long hospital stays, and setbacks that take months, if not years, to recover from, if recovery comes at all. The loss isn't just physical, it's emotional too. It's the loss of independence. The inability to lift your groceries, climb a flight of stairs, or stand without help. These are the quiet tragedies no one talks about, the humiliations that chip away at dignity and freedom. And the cruelest truth of all? By the time you truly feel the loss of strength, the road to rebuilding it feels steep, lonely, and painfully uphill. Many never make it back. That's why giving up intimacy isn't just a lifestyle choice. It's waving the white flag in the battle against aging. Intimacy is your armor. It's your secret weapon. It preserves your resilience, your energy, and your ability to move with confidence and purpose. But the body isn't the only casualty. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 4. Your memory and cognitive sharpness could begin to fade. I once sat with a lovely woman in her late 70s, let's call her Elaine, whose words have never left me. She leaned in, her eyes full of sadness and self-doubt, and whispered, "I used to be so sharp, but now I walk into a room and forget why I'm there." Her voice trembled with embarrassment. Like so many others, she blamed it on normal aging. "It's just what happens," she said, trying to laugh it off. But deep down, it scared her. And she wasn't alone. It's a story I've heard too often. But Elaine's situation had a hidden layer, a truth buried beneath years of disconnection and emotional drought. Her life, once full of affection, laughter, and closeness, had slowly become quiet, isolated. Intimacy had faded, not in a dramatic exit, but in slow, silent increments. What many people don't understand is this: intimacy doesn't just warm the heart, it fuels the brain. When we engage in emotional and physical connection, our bodies release a cascade of powerful chemicals: oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. These aren't just feel-good hormones. They're biological protectors of your memory, focus, and mental sharpness. They increase blood flow to the brain, fire up neural circuits, and strengthen cognitive pathways that keep your mind alive and alert. But when intimacy vanishes, so too does that essential stimulation. The mind begins to drift. Focus becomes foggy. Words become slippery. Conversations feel harder to follow. Names of loved ones sit just beyond reach. And decisions, even small ones, start to feel like heavy burdens. What begins as forgetfulness quickly turns into fear. And make no mistake, cognitive decline is not just frustrating. It is devastating. It erodes self-confidence. It steals identity. It isolates you from the world, not just physically, but mentally. Studies are clear. The absence of connection and emotional intimacy significantly increases the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's. The mind, like the body, needs constant nourishment, and intimacy is one of its most powerful forms. Losing that touch isn't just a loss of passion. It's a loss of protection. A dangerous silence that allows your sharpness to fade, your memories to weaken, and your personality to slowly retreat into the background. Intimacy is not just for the young or the romantic. It is for anyone who wants to stay fully alive, body, mind, and soul. And if we fail to protect it, if we let it slip away in the name of age or pride or fear, we open the door to decline that no supplement or therapy can fully reverse. But what if I told you that's still not the end of the cost? There's one more invisible danger that few people talk about. A threat that puts your entire body at risk, not from the outside, but from within. And it might be the most serious consequence of all. 5. Your immune system may weaken, silently, relentlessly. I remember vividly a man named Robert. In his early 70s, he was the very definition of vibrant, quick to laugh, eager to help, always the first to arrive and the last to leave community gatherings. He exuded vitality. But over just a few years, I watched a quiet transformation unravel him. His once strong posture became frail. His voice, once full of confidence, began to tremble. He was constantly ill, one cold after another, strange infections that lingered, and a fatigue that never seemed to lift. But it wasn't his diet. It wasn't a lack of exercise. It was something deeper, something almost invisible. Robert had walked away from intimacy. Not because he wanted to, but because he believed, like many others, that it no longer mattered. That it was something you grow out of. He couldn't have been more mistaken. What Robert and so many others didn't know is that sexual and emotional intimacy plays a critical role in fortifying the immune system. During moments of closeness, the body doesn't just feel good, it heals. It releases a flood of hormones, oxytocin, dopamine, endorphins, that stimulate the immune response, enhancing the body's ability to fight off viruses, reduce inflammation, and guard against chronic disease. When that connection is lost, the body loses its inner army. It becomes defenseless. At first, it's subtle, colds that linger longer, tiny cuts that take weeks to heal, a nagging cough that refuses to leave. But slowly, those whispers become roars. Pneumonia strikes. Infections become severe. Hospitalizations pile up. And the very system that once protected you begins to collapse, brick by brick. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the quiet hours when no one is looking. A fever here. A strange fatigue there. And by the time you notice the full impact, your resilience has been stripped away. What was once a strong body becomes a battlefield of frailty. Intimacy is not just about passion or companionship. It is a shield, forged in the quiet chemistry of the human body, designed to protect you from the daily onslaught of viruses, bacteria, and stress. When you give it up, you step out into the storm unarmed, vulnerable to forces that your body once brushed off with ease. But a weakened immune system is only part of the devastation. Because once your body loses its line of defense, what happens next? Your nights begin to betray you, you too. 6. You may sleep less, and wake up empty. I once knew a woman named Margaret, graceful, spirited, a lover of roses and community service. She had this beautiful way of making people feel seen. But something began to change. Her once radiant eyes grew dim. She came into my office with tears threatening to fall, telling me, I don't sleep anymore. I lie awake. I get up exhausted. I don't feel like myself. And here's what most people wouldn't suspect. The absence of intimacy had quietly unraveled the delicate threads that once carried her into deep, restorative sleep. You see, intimacy isn't just for pleasure, it's a powerful biological cue that tells your body it's safe to rest. During moments of closeness, your brain releases oxytocin and prolactin, two key hormones that reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, soothe the nervous system, and help you drift into peaceful, healing slumber. When that disappears, the consequences are brutal. Your nights become battlegrounds. You toss and turn, caught in shallow, broken sleep. You wake up feeling more tired than when you closed your eyes. There's no renewal, no recovery, just a haunting fatigue that follows you through your days like a shadow. But it gets worse. Poor sleep isn't just an inconvenience, it's a thief. It steals your memory, dulls your reflexes, spikes your blood pressure, inflames your body, and destabilizes your emotions. Without sleep, your body can't fight infection, your mind can't process thoughts clearly, and your heart suffers more strain. Sleep is your body's sacred time for repair. And without the intimacy that helps usher in that rest, your health suffers in silence. The world sees an older adult slowing down. What they don't see is that the slow erosion of sleep is pulling your strength out from under you, one night at a time. And if sleep, the very core of your healing process, is under siege, imagine what happens when the most personal, most deeply rooted part of your identity begins to unravel. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. 7. Your future sexual health could deteriorate and leave you feeling powerless. Let me tell you about William. At 68, he still had that boyish grin, the sparkle in his eye, the confidence of a man who believed his best days were still ahead. But by the time he was 74, he sat across from me, broken in spirit. His voice was low, cracking with pain. I never thought it would happen to me. I can't even respond anymore. It didn't happen all at once. It was years of slowly stepping back. Years of convincing himself that intimacy was for younger men, that maybe it was just time to let that part of himself go. He told himself it was normal. But his body disagreed. Because the truth is this: your sexual health isn't something that just disappears, it fades from disuse. In men, the absence of sexual activity leads to weakened blood flow, reduced elasticity in erectile tissue, and numbness that builds slowly over time. Erections become less frequent, sensitivity dulls, and the body begins to forget what it once knew. For women, the loss is just as profound. When intimacy fades, the vaginal tissues begin to thin. Dryness sets in. Sensitivity drops. Intercourse becomes uncomfortable, sometimes even painful. And with that pain comes shame, withdrawal, and an overwhelming sense of loss. This deterioration isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's the quiet death of confidence, of desirability, of connection. You begin to feel invisible, unwanted, broken. But you are not broken. You are not too old. And you are not beyond help. Your body still holds a memory of connection. Your spirit still longs for closeness. And if you fight for it, if you nurture it, you can protect the very essence of what makes you feel alive, seen, and whole. Letting intimacy fade is not just giving up pleasure. It's surrendering to the slow, silent fading of your vitality. And here lies the true tragedy. Once physical deterioration sets in, reclaiming what's been lost becomes a steep, uphill battle. And for some, heartbreakingly, it becomes impossible. This isn't just about missing out on fleeting moments of pleasure. No. It's about losing a sacred part of yourself, one intimately tied to your self-worth, your emotional wholeness, and your very connection to being alive. Without the nurturing presence of regular intimacy, your body begins to quietly shut down the pathways that once made you feel vibrant, needed, and profoundly human. It doesn't happen in a flash. It happens slowly, silently, until one day you wake up and realize that the fire has dimmed, the laughter feels hollow, and the reflection in the mirror no longer feels like you. Sexual health after 60 isn't about chasing shadows of youth. It's about preserving the soul of your aliveness. It's about choosing to feel deeply, love fully, and live richly on your terms. To surrender that without resistance is to relinquish more than most realize until it's heartbreakingly too late. But here's the truth that can change everything: you still have a choice. Understanding what's truly at stake is the first step to protecting not just your physical body, but your spirit, your dignity, your joy, and the precious years still waiting to be fully lived. Wow, what a journey we've taken together today. We've explored some profound truths about intimacy, aging, and the impact that connection has on your life, far beyond the physical. If you're still with me, you've likely learned some things that can change the way you approach your health, your relationships, and your well-being moving forward. So, what has stood out to you the most? What is one thing that you've learned from this video that you're ready to bring into your life right now? I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one powerful takeaway that you're going to start practicing today, whether it's about protecting your physical health, reconnecting emotionally, or simply embracing intimacy as the vital part of life that it truly is. If you found value in today's message, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more life-changing content. Your journey to a fuller, more vibrant life starts here, and I can't wait to continue walking alongside you.